Good morning. Here we are, April the 29th, and the year just seems to be going by so quickly. I don't know how it feels for you, but for me, it just seems like the days and weeks and months go by like that as we think about getting ready for our 25th USA Memory Championship. And we have the qualifying events that we're doing using the Memory League application, so we can do it on real time or on virtual. And that's at the end of July. And then we'll invite 12 people to come to Winter Park, Florida to compete live at Full Sail University. And they do a fabulous job with their students as a project for media. And then we get that out on YouTube. So we get more and more exposure to people who understand that memory is a skill. It's not just well, you were born with a good one or not, but it's a skill that we can develop at any age. And so as I'm thinking about it and talking with different people about our 25th event, I was excited to finally get the final word last week from MIT that we're going to be doing a special Memory Champions event to commemorate 25 years of the USA Championship. But of course, we need to run the first thing we have to do is run the 25th event, which we're doing in September. So in November, we'll be up at MIT inviting our USA Memory Champions to compete on a fun event, not so much for a champion, but to expose a broader range of people to hear normal human beings that have come to compete in a USA memory event and have just changed their lives. It has made such a difference, which then brought us to thinking about, so who have been our USA Memory Champions over the 25 years we've done it, and what has changed in terms of their lives? And so one that always comes to mind, which was turned out to be a good story for us, was Josh Foer. And Josh was a reporter for Slate magazine and came one year to Con Edison, where we were doing the events for 18 years in New York City. And he came to cover it for Slate to do a story about the USA Memory Championship. And it was kind of jostling with a couple of the competitors, and they in turn challenged him to see, if you think this is so easy and it's so kooky and whatever, why don't you come back and compete? And so he found someone to give him some training, and he did some practicing of it over the weeks, and he came the following year to compete. And he made the finals, and here he was on stage competing in the finals. And as we went through the final events, he was one step away from being eliminated when the person before him missed the clue, and it was the last person that then declared who our USA Memory Champion was going to be. And so Josh went on, he won it, and then he writes this book, Moonwalking with Einstein. So when I think of 25 years of the USA Memory Championship and the different publicity we've had in the New York Times, and we've been on all of the documentaries of CBS, ABC, and NBC. We've been on Discover. We had 3 years with the Science Channel. And I think of all of the things that have had an impact on 25 years of the event, I certainly come up with Moonwalking with Einstein as something that so many people have read, and then that they come and enter the Memory Championship from it. So of all of the PR and media and TV and newspapers that we've had, that has been by far the most significant we have. And so here goes our lawnmower people as we hopefully passes the window, and here we go. And so Josh's book, Moonwalking with Einstein, has been by far one of the most prominent, and we certainly will be reaching out to Josh to see if he would like to come to MIT November 10th and compete or cover it. I mean, it doesn't matter. What we're looking to do is bring memory champions to the event and have them be a part of something that is going to be significant. First, in fact, it's 25 years. I can't believe we've actually done 24 years of the USA Championship, and we just keep it going. And if anyone, I always said to my colleague Marshall Tolley at the time, hey, let's at least, when we did the first one, let's at least do 5 years. And then 5 years came and went, and I said, gee, you know what, maybe we could do 10. And if you told me I was going to do 24 of these and get to the 25th a whole bunch of years ago, I would have told you were crazy, and that there was no way that we would ever do that many USA Memory Championships. But here we are on the edge of the 25th, and we're still promoting the message to people that there is so much more you can do with your memory than you ever thought possible, ever. And that there are skills that you can learn to make a difference. And as the world looks through the early dementia and cognitive impairments and Alzheimer's, I mean, my goodness, there's no end in sight to people's worry about, I don't want to ever lose my memory. I don't ever want to get to the point in my life where I can't remember the people that I love or the people that I can talk with, that I care about, and that they in turn make such a difference in our lives. And so it's really been a wonderful experience to see the difference we've had in people's lives and the changes that we've been able to incorporate in their day-to-day activities. And I always love talking to Colette Silvestri, who's one of our favorite school teachers, who has brought students from Hershey, Pennsylvania, through the skill and then into the competition. And they've seen just such a difference in their lives, and the number of students that we've had from different schools that have gone on to compete in it and then have found themselves in medical school, thinking and doing things that they never thought they would find possible. So it's been a great experience in testing. So to Josh Ford and Moonwalking with Einstein, boy, what a difference. And then we have Nelson Dellis, who's a mountain climber, right? He's been to Mount Everest several times to try to get up to the top, and practices his memory skills as he's doing that, because the change in oxygen that takes place in our brain, and what we've learned from Nelson, who now comes by every year and supports us, and has moved up into New York State from Florida, and Nelson having won it for 5 years. And Nelson's our reigning 5-time person who has won more USA Memory Championships than anyone, and has just been a great supporter of what we've been working to do to get people involved. And then John Graham, who's our current champion, and what John has been able to do, and actually story of moving his honeymoon, his marriage and his honeymoon around competing at MIT. And so John, and then Chester Santos, the International Man of Memory. I mean, and then Ronnie White, a military person who has just been amazing in what he has been able to achieve in his life, and getting out and helping veterans, and the passion that he has for what he's been able to do in impacting veterans, and his commitment to them as being a former service member himself, and using memory techniques in part of the work that he's had to do in military combat and areas. So it just continues to reflect on the impact of the lives that we've had and the differences that they've been able to have in their lives. And so it's 25 years. The good news is, as I've said earlier, MIT will be hosting a special memory event for champions in November of this year. We have our 25th event coming up at Full Sail on September the 28th, and that will then go out on YouTube, and we're getting thousands of people that have viewed prior year's events. And it seems to me that the internet capabilities of Facebook and YouTube get more viewers than we do on television viewing, in terms of news reports and documentaries and things. So we're looking forward to it. We're excited about it. We've got people that are signing up to compete in July, and from that we'll have our final 12 that we'll invite to come to Winter Park. And it's hard to believe it's 25 years until I look at pictures of myself from 25 years ago, and look at the pictures of myself as I have aged by 25 years. And some people think I look wonderful, and all of the work I do on brain research and what goes on with our cognitive functions has kept me engaged in learning and reading and studying and wanting to make a difference in people's lives and wanting to share one little nugget of information that can so alter the way they think about themselves, the way they think about their mental fitness, and things that they can do to take control over it that can certainly have a positive impact on the way they go about day-to-day living. So, off we go, off to go see one of my dear executive friends for lunch today, and then off to Epcot, going off to see Epcot later this afternoon. Herman's Hermits are on the stage tonight, and looking forward to seeing Herman's Hermits and Peter Noone, and let's see what Herman's Hermits is going to be. So look, have a great day. It's the beginning of another week that seems to fly by each week, and we'll see you on Wednesday.